Hey there, and welcome. Today, we're diving into something really important, the powerful connection between yoga therapy and hormonal harmony for women. We're going to break down exactly how this practice can help bring your whole system back into its natural, beautiful rhythm.
It's kind of like our bodies are these incredible, finely tuned instruments, with our hormones conducting the whole show. But when things get out of sync, it feels just like this, a delicate symphony thrown into total chaos. And that's a feeling so many of us know all too well.
So, that leads to a really powerful question, right? What if there was a way to help tune that internal orchestra yourself? What if you could actually restore its harmony? Well, it turns out there is a path back to balance, and that's exactly what we're about to explore. Okay, so first things first, the hormonal symphony disrupted. Before we can even talk about fixing the problem, we've got to understand what's actually going on when that music, so to speak, just stops. What is a hormonal imbalance, really? At its core, it's pretty simple. It means your body is making either too much or too little of a certain hormone. But the effects? They're huge. This isn't just some small thing. It can have a real impact on our reproductive health, our metabolism, and even just how we feel day to day. So that's the problem. But what about a solution? Let's move on to yoga's holistic answer. Because the approach we're going to talk about goes way beyond just treating symptoms. It's actually designed to get to the root cause of the imbalance.
And that solution is something called hormonal harmony yoga. Now, I really want to stress, this is not your average yoga class. It's a super specific, targeted program. It combines particular yoga poses, special breathing techniques, and mindfulness, all with one goal, supporting your endocrine system and getting those hormones balanced naturally. And when we say holistic, we really mean it. This isn't just about what you do on the mat, it's the whole shebang. We're talking targeted yoga, of course, but also stress management, nutritional guidance, and even small lifestyle adjustments. It's about looking at the entire picture, the whole person. All right, so we know what it is, but now for the really cool part, how yoga balances hormones. This is where we get into the nitty-gritty, the science of how these practices can create actual physical change in your body.
And this is probably the question you're asking right now. I mean, it's one thing to say yoga helps, but how on earth does moving your body and breathing deeply actually change your hormone levels? Let's break it down.
Okay, a huge piece of this puzzle comes down to one word, stress. When we're constantly stressed out, our body is stuck in that fight-or-flight mode, and it's pumping out the stress hormone, cortisol. That cortisol just throws all our other hormones out of whack. Yoga helps us flip the switch over to the rest and digest state. That calms everything down and tells your body, hey, it's safe now. You can focus on balancing and healing.
It really breaks down into this amazing three-step process. First, you stimulate. Certain poses gently massage and stimulate key glands like your thyroid, adrenals, and ovaries. Second, you regulate. That stimulation helps those glands get back to producing the right amount of hormones. And finally, you soothe. The breathing and meditation calm your nervous system, bringing those cortisol levels way down. Stimulate, regulate, soothe. It's a powerful combination.
Okay, we've covered the how, so let's talk about the who. How does this therapy actually apply to the different and sometimes really challenging phases of a woman's life? So let's kick things off with a big one, PCOS, or polycystic ovary syndrome. It affects so many women, and a common question is, can something like yoga really help with a condition this complex? And the answer is a resounding yes. It really can make a difference because it targets two of the biggest factors in PCOS, those stress hormones we talked about, and insulin sensitivity. It can directly help regulate menstrual cycles and just support overall reproductive health. It's amazing.
Okay, what about another huge phase in a woman's life, menopause? Can this approach help women who are navigating all the changes that come with it?
You bet. The practice is amazing for easing this transition. By focusing on creating balance, it can help with things like hot flashes and mood swings, but it also really helps with getting better sleep and just feeling more emotionally stable through it all.
And it doesn't stop there. What about fertility, or that crucial time of postpartum recovery? This therapy has incredible applications for those two really important stages as well.
Well, for those on a fertility journey, it helps by reducing stress and increasing blood flow right where you need it. And for new moms, it's a lifesaver. It can help rebalance hormones after birth, strengthen the pelvic floor, and just give you a space to support your emotional well-being. It's truly a practice for every phase.
So if any of this is resonating with you, you're probably wondering, okay, what does this actually look like in practice? What's the commitment? Let's get into our final section, your path to harmony.
First off, let's talk about the timeline. We're looking at about 6 months, and that's really important to know because, let's be honest, hormones don't get balanced overnight. This is not a quick fix. It's a genuine commitment to creating deep, lasting change in your body and your well-being.
And what does that look like week to week? It's actually pretty straightforward. The recommendation is to practice 2 to 3 times a week for about an hour each time. That consistent schedule is what really allows your body to gently and safely find its way back to its natural rhythm.
And that really brings us to a final, pretty deep question to think about. We live in a world that's always telling us to control our bodies, to manage everything. But what if the real key to hormonal balance isn't about control at all, but about connection, about truly listening to and connecting with ourselves? Something to think about. Thanks so much for joining me.